Shipments of the vaccine will reach distribution centers all over the country, including right here at local hospitals and clinics. Astrid Martinez has new information on how the distribution works as Georgia prepares to receive its first batch. Astrid, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Karen, and it's an exciting day for millions of Americans right now. Hundreds of hospitals, clinics, and long-term care facilities are getting those first shipments of that COVID-19 vaccine. When they arrive at those sites, the vaccine needs to be sorted, it needs to be prepared because it needs to be diluted, and then it will be administered into the arms of Americans in need. Delivering hope and protection.
Make no mistake. Distribution has begun.
A massive distribution effort is underway to deliver Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. FedEx and UPS have the critical task of moving half of Pfizer's initial 2.9 million doses.
The vaccines they'll get the first priority on the aircraft, first priority on the package car when it goes to the final destination.
Planes and trucks carrying the COVID-19 vaccine left Pfizer's facility Sunday, and initial shipments will reach 145 distribution centers all over the country by Monday. Georgia is still waiting for its first batch to arrive.
We don't know at this time. We anticipate to receive more on that as Pfizer confirms our shipment.
As for the location of where the first vaccine will be administered in Georgia, Dr. Christy Norman with Emory Healthcare says it is contingent on how many doses of the vaccine the state receives.
So we anticipate that we'll be providing our vaccine in a centralized location simply due to all of the special storage requirements as well as preparation considerations.
Last week, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp saying the vaccine will take time to distribute.
The limited amount of vaccine doses we will receive in the coming days will be going to the most vulnerable and those on the front lines of fighting COVID-19.
The news of the vaccine distribution is bittersweet as the nation continues to suffer from the pandemic. Coronavirus cases and deaths continue to climb. And some other difficult decisions will be made by hospitals. They have to decide which of their employees will be getting that COVID-19 vaccine first. We are also working to learn which Atlanta or metro area sites will be receiving that COVID-19 vaccine shipment first. And we're going to keep you posted on that. For now, I'm live in Midtown. Astrid Martinez, CBS 46 News.
All right, Astrid, thank you so much. Now, the latest coronavirus cases here in Georgia, as Astrid just referred to. More than 4,300 new cases reported yesterday, but just one new confirmed death. 87 people had to be hospitalized. Statewide, just over 85% of the ICU beds are being used right now, and nearly 81% of inpatient beds are in use in the state's hospitals. Cherokee County Schools announcing 4 of its schools will stop in-person learning until January 6th, following the recent surge in cases in Georgia. Starting today, Woodstock High School, Sequoia High School, River Ridge High School, and Arnold Mill Elementary School will shift to online learning. Schools will begin their holiday breaks December 21st. And the Forsyth County School District's transitioning all high school students to online learning starting today through the end of the year as well. Remember, CBS 46 is tackling your COVID questions in the CBS 46 streaming app. Our app is free, and it is available for Apple and Android users. Right now, you can see from Astrid's live shot, it's a cold, windy day out there. So let's get a check on our weather. Meteorologist Ella Dorsey pinpointing how long these cold temperatures are going to last.
All week, Karen. It is going to be a chilly week. The rain that moved through this morning has now pushed into New England, out of our state. We're still seeing clouds, and man, is it cold out there. Live look over the city. It's pretty beautiful out there with those clouds, but you step outside, you're going to need your winter coat. 52 degrees and the winds 25 miles per hour. That's really adding to the chill factor out there. If you don't watch out, not only will your trash can be in the neighbor's yard today, but so will all of your Christmas decorations. So make sure that you have those pinned down accordingly, as the wind is going to continue all through the day today. Here's your hour-by-hour temperatures. We're really going to top out right where temperatures are right now, falling into the 40s very quickly after sunset. So again, you will need all the extra layers. We will see the sun come back out over the next couple of hours, but we're in for the continuation of more chilly temperatures, and I'm in Got tracking some more rain on Wednesday. I'll show you which areas could see some hours of icing on Wednesday. That's coming up in my full forecast in about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a bad word. Ella, thanks. Happening right now, early voting is underway in Georgia's U.S. Senate runoffs, and all eyes are on our state as the balance of power in Washington is at stake. CBS 46's Rebecca Schramm kicking off our live coverage there, and she's in Atlanta where voters actually got a bit of a surprise this morning.
Yeah, they did, Karen. I'm at the C.T. Martin Recreation Center off MLK Drive, and yeah, one of the Senate candidates showed up. The line was a little bit longer than it is now. His voting partner, a well-known political figure. Escorting former Atlanta mayor and former UN ambassador Andrew Young, the Reverend Raphael Warnock, who showed up on day one of early voting to cast his ballot in the U.S. Senate runoffs.
It is a very humbling thing for a kid who grew up in public housing to be able to cast a vote for himself to serve in the United States Senate.
It actually brought tears to my eyes.
Young says seeing the line, especially for a runoff election, which typically doesn't draw as many voters, was a pleasant surprise. He tells me this political season has been unusually nasty.
Every person I ever ran against, when we got through, we were better friends than we were before.
He worries it won't be like that this time, with bad blood between Warnock, a Democrat, and sitting Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler, or between Republican David Perdue and his Democratic rival John Ossoff. Voters showing up early say they're glad to get it done.
It will be nice to enjoy the holidays, but it'll be even nicer if Georgia comes through for the whole country.
And I reached out to Senator Loeffler's campaign. They tell me she is planning to vote in the coming days. By the way, this early voting location is one of 30 in Fulton County alone. Live in Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, CBS 46 News.
Rebecca, I got to tell you, I'm surprised to see so many people out there so early in these cold temperatures. Thank you. Well, with the start of early voting, there were already some issues with those voting machines. Our Barmel Lyons is live in Buckhead, where some machines just weren't working. Barmel, I see lines behind you. Are they fixed? Are they ready to go?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, let's just highlight. Today is the first day for the Georgia's 2 Senate runoff races, and this is a really important race. As you can see right behind me, the line is wrapping around the building. The outcome of the 2 races determining the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Although there have been a few issues, as Karen mentioned, machines down, volunteers having issued paper ballots, with this being one of the first days of
All right, it appears we're having problems with Barmel's microphone, but as you can see, lines are out there already, and we have been talking to officials there to see what is going on. Let's listen.
Voting is definitely worth the wait. I know, too many people have fought too hard and for the strides we have for voting, and there's too much going on in terms of suppressing the vote. So I think that, regardless of how long it takes, you got to stand in line, you got to get it done.
Republican poll watcher needs to be allowed into the room the same as the Democrat poll watcher is allowed into the room to watch. Putting them in a hallway where they can see nothing is not acceptable.
All right, so that's some of the people we talked to who are here ready to vote. If you do want to vote early, you have them December 14th through the 18th, and then again December 21st through the 23rd, 8:30 to 6 p.m. You need to check with your county's Board of Elections website to find your local polling stations because there are new ones. Some were closed from the November election. Make sure if you run into any issues, you're told to reach out to us, CBS 46, so we can hold the polling locations accountable. We will stay on top of this throughout the day. Well, Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams being credited with getting out the vote in Georgia for the presidential election. I had a chance to talk to her one-on-one about how she's working to get these voters back to the polls as we're seeing.
I'm doing everything I can to make certain that voters know how to make a plan to vote, that we protect their right to vote, and that we defend every voter as they show up.
Now, it's been more than a month since the presidential election was called in favor of President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Today, members of the Electoral College, including Stacey Abrams, are casting their ballots for president. Here is a live look inside the state capitol. These are live pictures from the Capitol where electors will be meeting. They started at noon today. Georgia has 16 electoral votes, and then we see Stacey Abrams right up at the podium right now. Let's listen for just a quick second.
You will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, they're just getting started there, so we will keep our eyes on this as those votes start. All right, Rodney's got a traffic alert for us. Rodney, what's going on out there?
Karen, we are in DeKalb County this afternoon. This is 285 southbound, right before I-20 around Memorial Drive. As you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, some huge delays. So a heads up if you plan on taking 285 south in DeKalb County. Again, that's right before I-20, where your speeds are less than 10 miles per hour. I'll keep you up to date on this throughout the course of the afternoon. But for now, back to you.
Rodney, thank you so much. Still ahead, one of the busiest trauma centers in the country, Grady Hospital, getting ready for its first coronavirus vaccine shipment. So what's being done to prepare? Well, the top doctor there is laying out the plan for us next. Welcome back. Preparations are underway to get the newly approved coronavirus vaccine to hospitals across Georgia as fast as possible. I went to Grady Memorial Hospital to learn about the plans there.
We've seen the full spectrum here. You know, unfortunately, we've had people who have died because of the severity of the illness. And then we've had people who have come in who we just found that they were infected because we test all of our admissions. But we do that as a precaution because we don't want them to then infect other individuals.
Dr. Robert Jansen is the chief medical officer at Grady Memorial Hospital. As one of the busiest level 1 trauma centers in the country, it's expected frontline workers here will be among the first to be vaccinated. He says they're unsure how much of the vaccine they will receive.
We have not heard that number. We are anxiously awaiting the number of vaccines that we receive.
Jansen says they've been meeting to make the tough decisions which employees will be vaccinated first.
That depends on risk to the individual, as well as, of course, willingness to take the vaccine, because obviously we're not going to mandate this.
The latest coronavirus spike is definitely being felt here at Grady. Just while we were there, several patients were wheeled into the emergency room.
Medical side and the surgical side, we are full. Now, we obviously we move people out on a daily basis to lower acuity beds, and then we fill them right back up. So we're running right at 100% capacity right now.
Karen Greer, CBS 46 News. Let's check on your weather. A cold and windy start to the week. Feels like winter out there for sure. Meteorologist Ella Dorsey joining us with Atlanta's most accurate forecast. It looks like winter too, Ella.
Doesn't it? The clouds are beautiful. They're going to clear here shortly, so we'll get some sunshine this afternoon, but that is not going to stop it from feeling like winter outside. We're currently hovering right around 50 degrees. Good afternoon to you in Alpharetta. It's 48, it's 49 in Dallas. It's 52 at the airport. But then you add the wind. Look at these wind speeds. Wind gusts are up to 40 miles per hour in Atlanta, 30 in Athens, 22 in Rome. This is very windy. Okay, and that's really going to impact the way it feels, especially as we head into the afternoon and that colder air starts to work its way in. So right now, current feels like temperatures are in the 30s and 40s just to the north and west of Atlanta, and that cold air will move in through the day. It's pushing in behind a front that brought us some rain overnight. If you didn't wake up early this morning, you probably missed the rain. It ended at about 7 a.m. We're not going to see any more precipitation, but we are going to see that cold air. So once again, the sun comes out here pretty quickly through the afternoon. Temperatures hover near 50 degrees until 5 p.m. Then we start to plummet. By 8 p.m., it's 44 degrees outside, and by midnight, many areas are dipping into the 30s. Overnight tonight will be in the low to mid 30s. It will be clear, it will be breezy, and it will be cold. That breeze continues tomorrow, so even though we do see sunshine, with high temperatures only topping out in the low 50s, it once again is going to feel like winter out there. That's going to be really the story all week this week as cold air is in place. Now, our next system moves in tomorrow night into Wednesday. With that chilly air in place, look at this ice that's happening in South Carolina, North Carolina. Northeast Georgia may get in on a couple hours of ice Wednesday morning. This would be very light and only for the higher elevations. Most of us here in Metro are just going to see scattered showers push in through the day on Wednesday. So again, looking at the 7-day forecast, now that the rain has moved out this morning, our next rain system will be Wednesday. It will be a very cold rain with high temperatures only in the mid 40s. So a good idea just to make some indoor plans this week, maybe cook some soup, have those activities near a fire. It's going to feel like winter out there. It stays pretty chilly through the weekend. Morning lows by Friday dip into the 20s. Let's get a check in on traffic now. We have an alert in DeKalb County.
Yeah, another reason to stay indoors in DeKalb County because of this traffic here on 285. Again, this is southbound near Memorial Drive. It's right before you hit I-20, so a heads up. Still seeing some major delays here with your speeds at less than 10 miles per hour. We're going to continue to keep you up to date on this, and we will have more weather and traffic throughout the course of this beautiful day.
All right, Rodney, thank you. Here's what you can catch tonight on CBS 46 if you're staying inside. The Neighborhood at 8, then Bob Hart's Abishola, All Rise, and then Bull at 10. Don't go to sleep before you get Atlanta's most accurate forecast. CBS 46 News at 11.
Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by West Shore Home, Atlanta's one-day bath remodeler.
Chargers finally break through in a close game.
Ooh, your Atlanta Falcons coming up short against the LA Chargers, losing 20-17. This officially eliminates the Dirty Birds from the playoffs. Well, right now, volunteers are improving the environment in Loganville. The group called Save the Earth from A to Z on One Family planted several trees at the O'Kelly Memorial Library. The goal is to reduce greenhouse gases like carbon monoxide to help the world cope with climate change.
So the great thing about this is that we're not just doing this here in Loganville or in Georgia, but we have many countries that we're working in, and our group is all over the world. So this is happening in many countries. We planted over 1,800 trees so far.
6 different countries taking part in this initiative. The ultimate goal is to plant 7 billion trees. Good luck to them. We're back with another check of your forecast right after this. Of the vaccine will reach distribution centers all over the country, including right here at local hospitals and clinics. Astrid Martinez has new information on how the distribution works as Georgia prepares to receive its first batch. Astrid, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Karen, and it's an exciting day for millions of Americans. Right now, hundreds of hospitals, clinics, and long-term care facilities are getting those first shipments of that COVID-19 vaccine. When they arrive at those sites, the vaccine needs to be sorted, it needs to be prepared because it needs to be diluted, and then it will be administered into the arms of Americans in need. Delivering hope and protection.
Make no mistake, distribution has begun.
A massive distribution effort is underway to deliver Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. FedEx and UPS have the critical task of moving half of Pfizer's initial 2.9 million doses.
The vaccines they'll get the first priority on the aircraft, first priority on the package car when it goes to the final destination.
Planes and trucks carrying the COVID-19 vaccine left Pfizer's facility Sunday, and initial shipments will reach 145 distribution centers all over the country by Monday. Georgia is still waiting for its first batch to arrive.
We don't know at this time. We anticipate to receive more on that as Pfizer confirms our shipment.
As for the location of where the first vaccine will be administered in Georgia, Dr. Christy Norman with Emory Healthcare says it is contingent on how many doses of the vaccine the state receives.
So we anticipate that we'll be providing our vaccine in a centralized location simply due to all of the special storage requirements as well as preparation considerations.
Last week, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp saying the vaccine will take time to distribute.
The limited amount of vaccine doses we will receive in the coming days will be going to the most vulnerable and those on the front lines of fighting COVID-19.
The news of the vaccine distribution is bittersweet as the nation continues to suffer from the pandemic. Coronavirus cases and deaths continue to climb. And some other difficult decisions will be made by hospitals. They have to decide which of their employees will be getting that COVID-19 vaccine first. We are also working to learn which Atlanta or metro area sites will be receiving that COVID-19 vaccine shipment first. And we're going to keep you posted on that. For now, I'm live in Midtown. Astrid Martinez, CBS 46 News.
All right.